Changing the topic for a little bit, brother. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah. Go.
Who are you?
Well, I mean, normally,
If a person asks you, who are you?
well, I was, who he is. And that, cause I'm gonna be here thinking, right?
But the thing is, no, when you know who you are, right, you will answer the question right off the bat.
Out of all these nations and all these races on earth, how can we identify which one is Israel? We can go to Deuteronomy 28 and 68 now.
The Almighty will send you back to Egypt in ships, even though He said that you will never have to go there again.
Now, I don't know if you know the story of Yahweh and Moses, but what happened is Moses, the Almighty ordained Moses now to deliver this people Israel out of Egypt. Yahweh then said in 68, if you disobey the Almighty, He will send you back to Egypt in ships. But you can't get from Egypt to the promised land. There's solid land. You can't use ships to get there. There's solid land.
There, yeah.
Right. That Egypt is your euphemism. What you call it euphemism? They use that word for slavery. Because we were in slavery in Egypt. So the Almighty said, I was sending you back to slavery in ships.
Yeah, back into captivity.
And now it's slavery.
But there's only one race, nation that come on ships that got taken away into slavery on ships. What nation is that?
Reading from the Good News tonight, Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. This is the consequences of disobedience. And the countries to which Israel will scatter you, the people will be shocked at what has happened to you. They will make fun of you and ridicule you.
Scattered, ridiculed, made fun of. There's only one race that the world and the peoples of the world try to ridicule and try to make fun of and try to look down on them.
Nigga,
Ah,
monkey,
tar baby.
But
Last night, I tell you, to watch that thing on television, as I did. Yeah. To see those monkeys from those African countries. Damn them, they're still uncomfortable wearing shoes.
Well, and then the tail wags the dog there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The tail wags the dog. I, for example, just had a call from Reagan, California, and he's been out there and so forth, and as you can imagine, there's strong feeling that we just shouldn't. As he said, he saw these cannibals on television last night, and he said they weren't even wearing shoes, and he says here the United States is going to submit its fate to that, and so forth and so on, but that's typical of a reaction which is probably.
But don't stare out Negroes today with no badge or no white skin or no white sheet or no white anything else. The police the same way. They put their club upside your head and then turn around and accuse you of attacking them. Every case of police brutality against a Negro follows the same pattern. They attack you, bust you all upside your mouth, and then take you to court and charge you with assault. What kind of democracy is that? What kind of freedom is that? What kind of social or political system is it when a black man has no voice in court, has nothing on his side other than what the white man chooses to give him? My brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this. And it will never be stopped until we stop it ourselves. They attack the victim. And then the criminal who attacked the victim accuses the victim of attacking him.
Is drenched with our blood. Because you see, so many of our ancestors was killed because we have never accepted slavery. We had to live on it, but we've never wanted it. So we know that this flag is drenched with our blood. They know what they've done to us. All across this country, they know what they've done to us.
So know that boy niggers that get treat cross up.
He was man. The black people were in slave trade.
Black people woolly hair, dark skin, woolly hair people, right? Call the African slave trade.
That's it, because they would mainly use the term African.
Right. They would use the word African.
I know they would use the word African at that.
Right,
Yeah.
but we gave you the correct word to use now, because it's not African. But we getting the correct word for you know, which is Israel, to be identified. You just hear everybody, we come from Africa, repatriate out of Africa, we can't hear that, right?
Yeah.
So they would say it's the Africans. So right now, you're supposed to know who's Israel out of all the nations on earth. You're supposed to know who's Israel from even just that one. We can go on. But from that scripture, you're supposed to be able to know it. Africans, boy. Yeah, boy.
That's our story.
That's me, boy. That's me. The Almighty speaking about there, yeah, that he can, if we disobey, he can send me back to Egypt. He can send me back into slavery, but by ships this time. And there's only one people that recorded in history that get taken from Africa as slaves on ships. Also, in the Almighty again says, because of Israel's disobedience, he will scatter them in foreign lands and put them in exile in the land of their enemies. In the land of their enemies.
I really believe this. We are so deeply hated around the world. They hate us so much.
Right, it's so true.
And if they're not making money off of, if they're not benefiting sexually, monetarily, culturally, they don't think of us as human beings.
We are going on to Joel chapter 3, verse 2. We identify Israel now. This is all of the scriptures in the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 2.
I will gather all the nations and bring them to that valley of judgment. There will judge them for all they have done to my people. They have scattered the Israelites in foreign countries and divided Israel, my land.
There were two reasons for that. One was the domestic rivalry back home. The European powers were already competing with each other. Africa became a new theatre. This was the beginning of the scramble for Africa. No shadow wars anymore. European armies were marching across the continent. They were picking off countries one by one. This inevitably led to fighting between European powers, so the German Chancellor proposed a plan. In 1885, these countries signed the Berlin Act. It formalized the scramble for Africa, and the logic was quite simple. Instead of fighting each other, let's carve up the continent. Each country gets its own colony. And no, the Africans were not consulted.
Psalms 44, verse 11. And I can tell you about, he scattered us into exile over all the world.
You allowed us to be slaughtered, Israel, like sheep. You scattered us in foreign countries. The description they slaughtered like sheep, explaining to you the magnitude of the situation.
That's how them had the people that were across here. As we could term as cattle that had
benches and things.
We could do nothing. So, boy.
And pots and things, benches and things. They used to call me, you know, like animals, you know.
Which valued in the same way.
Right.
Or less than, because they used to treat the horses and the dogs better than
we. Alright. We can go now to Isaiah 5 and 13.
And so you will be carried away as prisoners.
Shy. You what you see there?
And so
you carry away as prisoners.
Yes, brother, yes, brother. Yeah, a lot of people that talk, a lot of old people, black people are saying, them Jews this, them Jews that. That's why I raised the question, because the one was saying, them Jews this and them Jews that. And I was saying, if she know what a Jew really is, because a lot of people don't know. A Jew, when you said Jew, the word Jew comes from the word Hebrew. A Jew is a Hebrew. So, when you said Jew, and you don't know that you're talking about your own self, it's kind of like strange, because people who know it said, why are you talking about yourself like that? A Jew is a Hebrew. The word Jew comes from the word Hebrew. That's like abbreviation for the word Hebrew. Because before they use the word Jew, if you look in the Old Testament, they never call nobody. They never call Abraham no Jew. They call him a Hebrew. In the New Testament, they use the word Jew. That's because of these people who call themselves Jewish today. That's why that's how the word Jew come into there. But a Jew, the word Jew, Hebrew, and Israelite is the same thing. It's the same people. And to be a Jew, it's a genealogy. It's not a religion. Jewish is a religion. One is an adjective, and one is a noun. Jew is a noun. That's the race. That's the genealogy. Jewish, that's an adjective. That's a religion. That's Judaism. It's two different things. So when I say, what is a Jew? If you know what a Hebrew is, right away you're going to say, well, a Jew is a race of people, a genealogy of of a race, of a genealogy of the generation, guys. It come down from one person, come down like that. And there's a lot of Jews, plenty of Jews. All of them come from the same genealogy, though. Everybody who is a Semite, every person that come under the Shem descendants is Jews. All of them is Jews. Not Jewish, Jews. Jewish come from the religion Judaism. That's where the Jewish come from. Even though they say them as Jew, you can't. Even if you say you're a Jew, you gotta prove that you come from the lines of Shem. You could say you're a Jew, but if you gotta prove that you come from the lines of Shem, you could never be a Jew. So when I say what is a Jew, you gotta know what a Hebrew is. What's the genealogy of you of yourself? Is your blessed, brethren?